could be Corsair. I don't see why he would go Corsairs. Never mind. I'm really not sure why he's getting a Stargate. Usually, you see Protoss players go for carriers after they have definite economic superiority, and then they have the leeway to hold the other player at bay while they bother getting all the Stargates up and everything like that. Nalra, though, is not really ahead economically. He's not behind either. They're pretty much even right now. It's possible he's going for Arbiters, quick Arbiters as well, although that won't do a ton of good either because he has to have seen that Xellos does have Comsat. So Nalra finally trying to push in a little bit here. Both players are playing very conservatively, not really going after each other very much. Both kind of content to sit back and muster their forces. And so Nalra going in there and just kind of testing the waters, seeing what was up at Xellos' base. Not able to get in there and see very much what's going on. That observer getting taken out, and not able to really accomplish much either. He looks like he took out a couple mines. So he's getting 3 Stargates here. I don't see a fleet beacon. Oh, I'm sorry, that middle one is a fleet beacon. So it does look like he is going for carriers, which could be pretty interesting to see him get carriers. I'm pretty sure that Xellos has not seen that yet because he hasn't gotten any Goliaths yet. He has the capability because he has those armories already, so it won't take him too long to react once he actually sees those carriers. But in the meantime, if Nalra can get out some good carriers and go in relatively quickly, at the moment, really, Xellos doesn't really have anything to deal with anti-air. It's strange, it looks like Nalra only actually building 1 carrier there. Maybe he just doesn't have the money for 2. So it looks like Xellos is trying to expand a little bit. He's doing some hunting around with those vultures. Probably expect him to try and go and do an econ hit. And finally Nalra brings that Reaver to bear. Doesn't look like it does any major damage. Looks like he was trying to go in there and just generally take out some stuff. And Xellos attacking that mine there. That was a really smart move. A lot of times Terran players will camp out on their own mines, and a little Zealot bomb will blow up that mine on their own tanks and do a lot of damage to their own forces. So that was smart of him taking that mine out that was in his spot there. And now we see Nalra dropping that Reaver behind his little pylon blockade. So he's going to be able to hold that base there. That's probably going to be Xellos' target soon, is that bottom right corner. And likewise, if Nalra sees it, looks like Xellos is trying to set up a base in the top left corner. If he sees that, that's going to be his next target basically as well. Wow. Okay. So Xellos though has mounted up a substantial force here. Again, no anti-air, no Goliaths at all. So he probably hasn't seen those carriers yet. This is going to be really interesting to see if Nalra is going to be able to get out enough carriers to deal with this, because right now, as far as just forces on the ground, I think Xellos has the advantage. He's got a lot of tanks and a lot of vultures, and it looks like Nalra only has a couple of squads of goons and zealots. If they battle right now, all things being even, probably the battle's going to go to Xellos, especially since Nalra's forces are kind of divided up. Unless he's able to come in from the side with those zealots against the tanks that are sieged. It looks like Xellos only protecting one angle of his tanks with those vultures. Maybe he thinks that his whole force is that way. It's going to be interesting to see if Nalra can actually take advantage of that and attack him from both sides. There's a substantial amount of zealots at his front door, but what he needs to do is take those and get those into the battle area, so that when this huge battle is going to go down very soon, when that happens, he's going to have those zealots to counteract that. He's building up a couple carriers now. He's definitely investing in carriers at the moment, and you can tell he's spending all his gas on carriers and just building up zealots otherwise. And so now those zealots finally coming in. Here comes the battle. All the tanks go down siege. Xellos does not have his vultures in quite the right place. The zealots are able to go up to those tanks, and the tanks blow each other up a little bit. It looks like Nalra is falling back a little bit. He knows he doesn't have quite the superior forces to really take that out, even though he was able to take that out. Okay, so Xellos has to have seen those carriers now, because he does have some Goliaths now. Although he's putting those Goliaths in front, and the Goliaths are going to get taken down by those Dragoons very quickly. So the Goliaths go down, and those carriers are now just going to be able to chill there. Okay, he does have more Goliaths coming in, so Nalra's going to have to fall back to the carriers a little bit there. And Nalra, in the meantime, doesn't look good for Nalra, honestly. He doesn't have a lot of forces on the ground to deal with those Goliaths, and he doesn't have a lot of forces in the air to deal with everything either. So, and now he's going to probably lose this expansion in the bottom right, because he's basically pinned back in his main, dealing with this force here with these Goliaths and tanks and vultures, and now a few tanks are attacking that base in the bottom right corner. So not looking good for Nalra at all, because those tanks are going to be able to siege up and take out. It looks like he is taking those carriers down there to try and deal with that. The tanks were able to knock one hole in that little blockade, that pylon blockade, and that tank is just going to die for fun. Anyway, so Xellos falling back with those tanks. Xellos now having set up another base. I can't tell. I don't think they've seen. Oh, another Zealot runs in. See, this is what I was talking about with those friendly mines. A Zealot running in and taking out 3 or 4 tanks with that mine, that friendly mine attacking as well. But this does not, again, look good for Nalra at all. Crap, he loses a carrier to some Goliaths over there, and he just doesn't have a lot of forces on the ground right now. And in the meantime, Xellos has taken, I think, 2 expansions, and so economically he's able to pump out a lot more units as well. Nalra just divided too thin. He's not able to keep his carriers down there to block that, to hold that bottom right corner, and not able to keep his carriers as main. Yeah, he does have a couple expansions. I still can't tell what he's got in the top left corner. But, wow. Okay, so Xellos running his SCVs out to his new base. They're probably both getting low on minerals in their main by now, and if that happens, if they run out in their main, then that's going to be even worse for Nalra than for Xellos, because of the fact that he doesn't have quite as many bases. Wow, okay, some Dark Templar there. I'm pretty sure that Xellos has Comsat, so I don't think those Dark Templar are going to do a lot of good, unless Nalra is probably thinking that he needs to do some kind of a strike right now and really do some damage to Xellos' economy if he's going to come back in this game. And those Dark Templars, so it looks like they're pretty low in their mains, but the main mineral will last for a while longer. Basically, it's going to come down to a bit of a micro battle. This map is a good map for carriers because of the fact that there's a lot of ridges and stuff. So it's going to come down to seeing basically who can micro run better than the other, and Nalra at least has those goons there to try and back up those carriers, but those carriers are going to have to run away. He's canceling some cannons there, it looks like. So Nalra is not going to be able to take this other expansion, unfortunately for him. Wow, okay, so basically, I'm still going to have to, yeah, okay, so their minerals in Xellos' main now are running out. He now has a shit ton of Goliaths, and this does not look good for Nalra at all. He has a lot of Goliaths on the ground, and wow, it's going to be hard to micro around and take out those Goliaths, even with the ridges and what have you. Basically, the problem is that he probably could micro around and take out those Goliaths with those carriers, but not before those tanks would rape one of his bases. Now we see Xellos kind of mounting his forces here. He's got to be pretty high on psi, so we're probably going to see him going for an attack pretty soon, although it looks like instead he's trying to kind of shell up in this base and get that. Maybe it doesn't have Comsat after all. Okay, Templar, finally! Okay, that could be the evening factor here for Nalra. He's got High Templar, he's got Storm.